All right, hello class. We are going to work on making our coil pot template today. You should have already found your picture. Mine is on paper. Yours should be saved on your iPad of your dramatic, emotional mood. Okay, and then you should have sketched it and made sure you wrote the mood that you see and what the eyes, nose, mouth are doing, and if you see any other characteristics. And then today we are going to make the template to go with it. So this is an example of a template that I have already made. You notice I put the face on it at the end, and then you're going to end up with the template that you can use to help build the size of your coil pot. So you should have a scissors, a ruler, and a pencil right now. And the first thing that you are going to do is you are going to fold your paper in half, hot dog. Okay, that means the narrow way. So make sure you match those sides up, fold it in half. Okay, now we don't want too big of a base or you're going to end up having to work really hard at making this pot. Okay, it needs to be 6 inches tall. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up on the edge of my paper right here, and I'm going to mark off 6 inches so I know, okay, that's how tall it's got to be. So I don't want my base to come out more than 3 inches, and this is going to be half of my piece. So I'm going to start by making my first inch. So I don't want it more than 3 inches, and it can't be more than 1.5 inches from the edge. I'm actually going to go with 1 inch, and I want you to make 2 measurements. I'm just going to make my other measurement around where my 6 inches. You can make this bigger than 6 inches. It's kind of up to you, but the larger you make it, the longer it takes you to make it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I've got a line going here. And now I want to decide my pot has to go out like this, and then has to go back in like this. For the beginning part of the pot, you would really don't want to make it go out too far too fast, and you also don't want it to curve. So I recommend making that first line with your ruler. Make it up about that high. Now I think that's a little higher than I want, so I'm going to take it off a little bit. Take that down just a wee bit. I think that's good. Okay, so now, and you know, you can put a narrow top on like this, but you don't have to. It's not required. I'm going to think about where, I think I'm just going to have it kind of go into about there. It's going to go in narrower than my bottom. And now I can start to kind of curve it. So this is where I want to freehand it so that it goes in. So I'm just kind of sketching out kind of a half circle. Okay, and that's going to be my opening right there. Okay, and that's all I need to do, except that I have to cut this out. Okay, so once I've got that, I'm going to take my scissors. That's what my scissors is for. And I'm going to cut it out. And there is what my pot's going to look like. Okay? And this I can cut in half and use half of it for comparing to the sides of my pot as I make it. So I can just take my scissors and cut in half along that fold mark. Okay? Now, most important here, make sure you put your name on both of these. I'm going to put my name on this side and I'm going to draw on that side. Okay, so now I want to take that face that I had sketched in my process journal, move this aside here, open it up to my face sketch. Okay, and I want to put that same face. Now I want to figure out how that face is going to fit onto this piece of paper right here. Okay, so I'm gonna look at it. Where's the widest part? So how far do I want it to go? I probably don't want it to go down too far. So I have to kind of change the size. My drawing's a little bigger here. I want that lip to go down. So I'm just gonna kind of put some basics on here, and then I'll go in and change the shape a little bit. Nose, probably about right here. Eyes, probably about right here. Eyebrows. So I want to be able to show a little bit of that wrinkle on the brow. Okay, now I can start putting this in better detail. And I know you've already drawn it once, but this is good to practice because you're going to have to draw it on your clay when you get to that point. So practice, practice, practice will be very helpful. Kind of, you've got a center line here, so you can kind of use that to help make it more symmetrical. Okay, my mouth. I did bring that up a little higher, I think. And then I can go back in. I'll show some of that. Has to go down there. Okay. See some teeth there. Got that. Some serious bags under the eyes, showing these wrinkles, wrinkles on the nose, wrinkles between the brows. The brows were fairly straight and low because he was really disgusted, and then showing some wrinkles there. Okay, so now I don't want you to lose this or this. Okay, if I could save both of these just in case you lose one. Okay, so with this one, and what I would like you to do is take a picture of these two on your iPad, and you're going to hand these in on Schoology to show me your planning process. And these ones you're going to use every day to check your pot, or at least one of them. Okay, so to not lose this one for now, I would just grab one little piece of tape and tape it in my process journal. Just to keep it with you. Okay, so I'm just going to tape that right there, and I can set these in my process journal after I've taken my picture and hand it in. All right, have fun today.